Hi kids. Today I wanted to talk about the art recreation project. So it's just going to be a little information about what you need to be thinking about when you work on this project. You have this paper copy in front of you if you want to follow along. I know you can read, but I know you probably won't. And I'll just give you some information. So what you're going to do is recreate a piece of art from class. You're going to do some research on it as well. It can be a painting or a sculpture from the course, or at least an artist that we talked about. You must be in the picture. Each person must do their own picture. You can work in a group to take the picture. However, each person must have a unique assignment that gets turned in. So if you work in a group of three, you should recreate three different pieces, and each person does a different write-up. So you can be like the director of the piece. Obviously, you're going to need help taking the picture. Can you work with kids from other classes? I don't care. I just can't grade them or anything. You'll each complete a Google Slide presentation and turn it into Canvas. That Canvas assignment is in Module 11. It's one of the cumulative projects that we're doing for the second semester. You can and should edit the slides to showcase your particular piece. And this is what you need to include in the slides. The name and date of the piece and the name of the artist, the style and genre of art it belongs to, where that location is, like if I wanted to go visit it, any interesting facts you can find, an explanation about how you made the piece, including the process and any hardships you encountered. I'm hoping that you'll take the picture and go, oh, my angle's a little off, and correct it. The last slide in your presentation should be a side-by-side picture of the original and the recreation. Maximum number of slides is 10. I think ideally we're looking at maybe 6 slides. So there's a couple samples. And here's the grading rubric. You're going to be looking at historical thinking, communication skills, are you explaining it to me, and the period in which you say that this belongs in modern art and it's impressionism. That would be wrong. So here's an example. Whoop, not this one. This one is the example that I have printed for you. I just took Brooklyn's from last year and I made it my sample. So you can have a title if you want to with your name on it. And she did Whistler's Mom. So here is it's called An Arrangement in Gray and Black #1, which is so weird. It travels the world, but is currently in Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates. But it's based out of the Paris Museum, Musée d'Orsay. Now, I looked that up last year, so I don't know if that's true anymore, but you get the point. The style here is realism. In the painting, she's almost life-size, so you can imagine how big this painting is. Whistler was very famous. And then other interesting facts about the piece. I wrote this because I wanted to give an example for you guys, but I was pretending I was her. Like, I did this. This is how I recreated the piece. At first, I didn't realize that her feet was elevated. Had to add that. I had my sister take the picture, a little bit of problem. So this is like a narration of how you did it. And then the final sheet would be the final slide is the side-by-side. So what my plan is probably going to be doing is taking the first slide and your last slide to show them to the class. Because this is really all the class wants to see. This information is the stuff that I want to see. All right. I have way too many slides here to show you all of them. But I'm so excited and I miss you guys so much. So here's a couple. So no nudes. This is May 11th. Yep, that's correct. 2020. We'll see if we're back by then. But I mean, we have a lot of time. Hopefully you guys can do this. I know you're not supposed to be with other people, so find an individual one. And then submit the PowerPoint on Module 11. So this is the reason why we continue to do this assignment. This was the first year I taught humanities. Nope, it wasn't the first year. It's the first time I ever did this assignment. And this is a photograph, actually, of the very famous guy named Salvador Dali. And he just did weird stuff all the time. So he wanted to take a photo with the water flying and the cats flying and he's jumping and there's a chair levitating. It's just all these really interesting parts. And this one girl recreated this one. And I thought it was probably the most amazing thing I had ever seen. And that's why kids continue to do it. Now, her and her dad did this together, and he helped her Photoshop it. And so they did it in different layers. So they threw the water one time, they threw the stuffed animals one time, and they layered it. I don't know how to do that. But she said it was really interesting. I'm like, I didn't think water would do that. It's so weird. And she goes, that's what water does when you throw a bucket of it. So this was just probably my favorite one because it's the first one that I was like, these kids can do amazing work. This is what I will do. Like the first slide will be this one on the left that will have maybe your name and information on it. And then she just found blue sheets or blankets or something and wrapped them. This is Picasso's Blue Period. Here's just some possible ones you could recreate. Obviously, you have to have clothes on. I thought this one was really fun because this little person is freaking me out. And then if you look over here, there's this little person. I thought that one's really neat. And I have no idea where they shot that and had that cool background. This was a brother and sister team I had in class. He's a senior and she was a sophomore. And I was so excited about this one. That was really cool. She's holding drumsticks in her hand, and the woman in the real picture is actually holding a fan, but you can't really tell if you just glance at it. I thought this one was really cool. They're all really cool. I don't want to show too many because I don't want to to stifle your creativity. Oh, I missed one. Girl with the pearl earring. That's a Vermeer. Oh my God, seriously? Well, I don't know how many people have ferrets. Is that a ferret? But this is Summers from last year. I thought look at, she's got it's like a sweatshirt and it is just so awesome. So we'll look at photography, and this is some of the newest earliest photography, and she just did these flips in her yard over and over and over and over until she got the right pictures. What I liked about this one is, first of all, I love that painting, but I love that they added the blood with the digital blood, so it looked super fakey and hilarious, and the ping pong paddles on the wall. Those are all fun. I had a kid do the one, that's Paul Revere on the left. He was an engraver. I think it looks like Jack Black, but I had a student who redid that one, and he actually really did a good job, and I can't find it. I put it somewhere so smart, I can't find it in my files. just look at that one for a little while. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. This was so funny. Funny. You could redo these. Oh, this was one of the earlier pieces. And this girl always, I was like, you could totally do a Jesus picture. You have the perfect hair for it. So they did it in the cafeteria and then just edited the background. They did a really good job. Man, this kid, he just graduated from Madison with a master's in business. So these kids are like 25 now. Oh, so cute. Her cat's fat, though. That's a fat cat. Now, this would be a cool one to recreate if you could find the pieces. I don't know. Oh, it's fun. So this is on the left is the original, and on the right is the girl redoing it. I thought, it's not exactly perfect, but there's aspects of it that are so cool that they obviously spent some time doing it. This one's I think it's at Highcliff State Park, which I think is really cool. They have a stuffed animal instead of a real dog, and she got her cousins to come. One of them has two of them have swim caps on. Again, you must wear clothes. These are some examples of ones that would be fun to do. Oh, these are crazy. They're by a guy named Goya, and he painted his nightmares on the walls, but those girls did it. There's that one I call Soup. These guys were hilarious. Sorry, I skipped that one too fast. It's just hilarious. This is a fresco of some early Jewish art. These are the three kids in the fiery furnace. And Nebuchadnezzar looks in and is like, oh my gosh, they're still walking around. Who's that fourth person in there? And they open it out and say, get out. And these three kids walk out of a furnace full of flames, and they're not burned at all. And they're like, who was in there with you? And they said, God. So these three boys recreated it in their backyard. Oh my God, it's so funny. If you think of like what you could redo, Pitchfork one's pretty popular. This always reminds me of that park in Neenah. I call it Rocket Park, but I know it's not called that. But that would be neat if anybody could get their hands on like a monkey. I don't know. Salvador Dali on the right with his pet ocelot, and then a kid on the left drew it on with a mark with a well, it's digitally drawn on, but it's super funny. She's a great sport. That's Napoleon. We'll look at pictures of him soon. All right, that's all I have. So this is kind of lengthy. It's 10 minutes. So I'm not going to assign anything specific for today. You should just start thinking about what you're going to do. Again, this is not due until May 11th. So you have a ton of time, but it feels like that's kind of all we have right now. So maybe you guys could see if you could do things at home that could be recreations. And look through the art set in the book. Just look online for famous pieces of art. If you're not sure if it's something that I would accept, just send it to me and I'll be like, heck yeah, do it. Okay, so hey, I hope you enjoyed looking at all these pictures. I have so many to show, but I don't want to give you too many ideas because I want unique new things. But I'm thinking about you guys, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye. Uh-oh. I lost it. Stop! Right